Hello everyone and welcome to Precalculus. In this series, we're going to tackle the prerequisites of calculus. So, in other words, before you learn calculus, you need to learn and review and master its prerequisites. When we say prerequisites, basically, what are the topics that you need to know before you proceed to calculus? Because you see, calculus has a lot of mathematical applications. What I mean by mathematical applications, I mean like the lessons, techniques used in high school mathematics. So because of that, it is highly advised for a student to review them, right? Especially that there are other techniques there that are very useful when it comes to calculus. Like for example, the application of trigonometry. And yeah, you heard it. Trigonometry is also part of precalculus. Now, now that I mentioned high school mathematics, so what does that imply? Well, it implies that every student must master the basics. Without the basics, the student will highly fail calculus or they will not understand calculus properly if they do not know the basics. Right? So when I say pre-calculus, once again, it's basically about prerequisites, right? Like basically the lessons that you need to learn before you proceed to calculus. Now, there are things that we need to remove, however. Like what are the math topics that we need to remove here? Because in here, in this series, yes, we're talking about pre-calculus, but this is under the Philippine K-12 curriculum. Because in the Philippine K-12 curriculum, they have a pre-calculus subject for the students who took STEM strand, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So here, pre-calculus basically consists of four chapters. And what are those, right? So these four chapters are what I'm going to discuss in this series, all right? So here, number one, conic sections. So conic sections, basically, these are four shapes, and we're going to learn about its formula, properties, how they are, like relatable to each other. The next is we have sequence and series. Well, for I think we've learned sequence and series before, like I think when we were in high school, But here we're going to learn something more. Like there are some additional topics about sequence and series here, especially the usage of sigma notation. Third, trigonometry. Excuse me. In trigonometry, I actually made a playlist or series for trigonometry. So should I make another trigonometry video here? Well, yes, but I'm going to make few videos out of it because I made a lot of videos of trigonometry in a trigonometry series or the trigonometry playlist that I made. All right. So these few videos of trigonometry that I'm going to make for this series, they're just again, I mentioned few. So they can use the series that I made, the trigonometry playlist, as part of the review and for more information. All right. Then lastly, polar coordinates. So basically, if you know about the Cartesian plane, right, the X and Y, like you learn how to plot points, how to graph, with the X and Y plane. Here in polar coordinates, you will learn how to graph, but in different way. This is not about XY plane, but rather a polar coordinate plane. All right. So here it has an application of trigonometry, which is why we're going to discuss polar coordinates at the very last chapter of it, right? Before we proceed to trigonometry. All right. So yeah, these are like the four topics that the students, especially from the Philippine K-12 curriculum, will learn about pre-calculus. All right. But here's the thing, all right? Yes, this is under Philippine K-12 curriculum, so there are four, yeah, chapters, just like what I said. But here's the thing. Uh, there are other math lessons that students need to learn aside from this four. All right. So in Philippine K-12 curriculum, there are like two math subjects for grade uh, from what I know, grade 11 year, which is one a core subject, which is any strand you pick, whether if it's for STEM or science or you're an accountant whatsoever, you're going to pick general math. And in general mathematics, you will be learning functions, rational functions, exponential functions, logarithms. That's it. Then for STEM, they have a specialized subject, which is the only subject that the STEM will take, which is precalculus. So basically, what I'm trying to say that the general mathematics and precalculus, they are separated because they want general math as their core subject, you know. But if you're going to take a look closely, this general math subject and pre-calculus, which is under the K-12, they are basically pre-calculus. They are pre-calculus because the functions, the rational functions, the inverse functions, those stuff, they are still part of pre-calculus because they are very applicable when it comes to calculus topics, right? But I have nothing else to say except that I will be discussing these four topics for the sake of other students, especially for those who are under the Philippine K-12 curriculum. And I think that will be all. All right. So good luck, guys. See you soon.